Hello and welcome, welcome, welcome. Believe it or not, we are still in the mood to play some more Terraforming Mars. What a surprise. Who could have guessed this after this many years, that we'd still just be loading up another run. Do we have anything interesting here? Obviously, like, Space Elevator has legs. Nitrogen Rich makes you wonder if you can go for some cheeky thing. Spotlight Helion really leaves a lot to be desired for this build. There's a lot of productions to be had, but no steel production to go with the elevator. You could have some steel, just in general. That would be $25 worth of steel after you sell it all slowly over time. Hard to say that that's much better than just getting the $6 worth of titanium from Galilean mining. Honestly, this isn't the worst setup, but like, I don't have time for that. Do you have time for that? I don't have time for that. Let's just run it back with a fresh, we got there Saturn Systems or Credit Core. Saturn Systems comes with a Jovian in hand. Advertising, optimal aerobraking. I don't even mind the nitrogen rich. A little bit of spin inducing, little question mark. There's a lot here. In fact, this plant tag plus that question mark tag makes it so that the opportunity that is nitrogen rich asteroid is super doable. I think you take all this, you get our little card draw, you get a little income. I'm looking at you optimal. I mean, there is a discount later on, but if you do this and just double the Venus bump, I think is pretty great. That means that we have a lot of money coming in after the very first turn. And we're just looking for another cheeky plant tag. Don't mind some oceans for the end of the game. Some heat production would go a long way. Don't have any energy, but let's pick it up. And yeah, we'll keep this going. Now with the heat back, that does give us enough for the heat. I question whether or not I should use it, just because the government could have put us up to the heat income, but we weren't quite there. Let's hold our cash. We have nitrogen rich asteroid. We are one plant tag away if I play my question mark. So let's live and let die here. I probably should have taken the self-replicating robots just because I do have some expensive cards. But I didn't, and I'm gonna live with that decision. Comet, don't mind Comet. Now this is over 20. And I'll take a microbe synergy here. I don't even mind the heat income, but it's early enough. Let's take it. This means that I have a card that's over 20 that will give me the heat income, which is lovely. I take advertising, so I get an extra income off of it. We did not get the plant tag, so we just continue here. I think I just make this pocket of money to start with these ocean adjacencies. And I believe because I now have decomposers and shuttles, the government should probably help us on the oxygen. I still have $15. I could standard project a heat bump. I could standard I think you just hold the cash because nitrogen rich is still in the realm of possibility. We just need to hit that plant tag. Look, I mean, there is a lot to like here. Over 20, some heat bump, some card draw. There's a lot to like. We probably take the heat income. All right, yeah, so the heat income, I mean, it does put us further away from strip mine, which is painful, let alone the AI central and shuttle energy that we need. But this gets us up to a cute 8 heat income, which is just feels so right. So let's take that. The plants are shuffling in, but we need the government to help us more on oxygen, like said. Now, here we go, some microbes. This gives us discounts on plant tags. I get money back on space events. I'll take all of this. I am not against this in the slightest. Now, to play you, I need... Oh no, minus 20. I didn't even realize I was over it. At least I was already over it, but like, damn, dude. What do we take? I mean, this heat income or heat bump comes with money and heat back, so you just play that. Then you get your income, and then you start with the just 1/3 point microbes that could turn into something better. I'm sad about the psychrophiles, but it's fine. We're only on Gen... Oh, I forgot to do my audit. Well, let me tell you the audit. The audit would have been, our income is reasonably high. It's right in the benchmark. The terraforming is really good for heat. And we have some endgame oceans with Lake Marinara, so we're feeling kind of halfway there. Oxygen, we have a trickle of plants, but not too much. And Venus, we really don't have an answer for Venus. So in the short term, we're going to boost our oxygen to enable some cards, but we really need to keep our eye open for a Venus solution. And our heat, even though it's only at 8, we don't have to invest that much more. Because we have a lot of titanium, so we have access to space cards that are really good at terraforming if we can get a little bit of luck, and we get heat back on space events. So there's a lot here, yada yada yada. We'll see how Gen 5 goes, blah 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 blah. That's what would have happened last gen if I had taken a moment to think. I did not, but hey, look at this, some Venus. You know, what do you know? You ask for it and it arrives. It's actually really good in several ways, because this is a card that's over 20. So I am getting the benefit of advertising there. And then, what do you know? It's my second Venus tag. And then if I have the government push Venus a touch more, I can get Neutralizer Factory. Now, I don't know that that's more important than having the government help us with the oxygen. Again, I'm looking for a plant tag to really lift us off with our plant income, if I can just get a plant tag. But otherwise, the oxygen here, I think, is important for getting those discounts and stuff. Yes, Venusian animals. Yes, mining. And yes, Mohole Lake. I think all of those are worthwhile. Mohole Lake is pretty expensive, but it does help us in several ways. Am I at the point where I'm giving up on the plant tag? That's the real question I have. Because I have all this titanium, right? And in fact, like, as soon as I play this and I get 2 more titanium coming in, it's like, damn. Do we do it? It comes with a heat bump, which is a heat dollar of income of TR, plus 2 more TRs, so that's more money, plus heat back on space events. I just need plants so bad that all of the benefits it gives me feel like a little bit of a waste in a way. So let's hold $20, 1 more turn of putting it off, but then we pretty much have to make this work. So card draw, some science, heat bump. Perhaps we get that discount. Now, I don't mind Mohole Lake. Don't mind Convoy from Europa. We probably start with Convoy from Europa. There's a chance this gives us something extra cute. It did not. So then we take you. Now, the biggest problem I have is that because I played on the board over there, I don't have an easy greenery expansion. What am I looking for? I'm looking to see if I have a card played that is a building tag that is worth copying. A steel and energy income is probably the best because I need energy so damn bad. Though there were some other contenders, don't get me wrong. And yeah, now I get 2 extra microbes per turn. If I'd gotten like a Venus, like terraforming microbe, there could have been some legs there. But yeah, here we are. Little more energy income, baby. Also, don't I have enough for AI Central now? I do. So if I could purchase said card, it would be lovely. I also get a bonus from Venusian animals if I can get all the way up to 18%. Now that's a bit of a long shot, but it is there. Energy, there we go. TR to get 63 TR. I'm a little nervous about the full terraform, so I'm gonna let that go, even though it really helps us on the 63 TR goal. I'm just a bit nervous. I do think some card draw could help. Again, we never got that plant tag. Maybe I missed one when I was just scanning around, but no. Energy. I should have gone for the strip mine. I mean, I'm only saying that because I missed on my 2 card draw, but, you know, it still feels bad to miss. I could take this. Again, I should have played Nitrogen-Rich Asteroid like 10 years ago at this point. But again, like, you gotta try for the combos, right? Like, if they don't come, they don't come, and that hurts. But, like, we set ourselves up for success for a big run, and then the success didn't materialize. But that's okay. One of these days, you're going to hit a round like this, and, oh, look, all the micro Venus terraforming card we need. Kelp farming or grass. Honestly, both might be good. Like, you know, there's a lot of value to be had here. It's just painful that it took this long to get to it. So that's good. Thermophiles is like a must. Lake Marineris gives us a lot of wood. I'd probably prefer, if I have enough money, I think I can go kelp and then nitrogen rich. Because of the wild tag, we have enough. And that means that the heat is just settled now at this point. Because next turn I have enough heat to do both. I wish I had Caretaker Project to really get even more value, but... Oh, I didn't even do my 2 card draw. Terraform Ganymede and Algae. Algae would have been good as well. And then Thermophiles gets 2 microbes per turn, which means a Venus bump this turn, a Venus bump next turn, and a Venus bump in the last turn. So that worked out pretty well. I don't know if the oxygen needs us to do the strip mine at this point. We may or may not. Alright, yeah, so we do the oxygen here to level us out. We couldn't take a Venus because we want that TR from the track. We don't need heat. We don't mind a card draw for steel, and we don't mind a bunch of points for a city in space. There's, how many Jovians do we have? Just 2. Sure, so we'll be a little greedy. We'll finish that terraform there. We will probably strip mine. Strip mine just gets us, like, you know, into a comfort zone. Like, we're feeling pretty safe about the oxygen now. Before I do a Venus bump manually, let's do an SF Memorial. We did get Venusian plants, which is fine. 2 more cards. I mean, some science-y stuff is fine. But, yeah, we do need to just bump Venus a whole bunch of times. Now, I'm going to standard project Venus, and then I'm questioning how greedy I should be. Few things come to mind. Venusian animals. And then when I do Venusian plants next turn, I can get a 1-point animal along with it. That feels a bit greedy, but reasonable. It also gives me something to put animals onto with nitrogen-rich asteroid, which means I probably have enough plants. For the sake of argument, I could play algae just to really lock that in, and then grass next turn if needed. But with those space events, right, that's going to be good. Do I have something to use my steel on? No. So we should keep Food Factory just in case we're trying to maximize points. I really don't think I'm going to have enough for you, but... yeah, there's not too much for us to grab. We just have too much heat at this point, which is a weird problem to have. Dawn City is so good. If you've got the science tags for it, you got to do it. Now, we need oceans. We need oxygen. We need Venus. I think the government's going to help us with Venus. And this is going to solve us for Venus. Let's go. I say solve, but, like, you know, it is what it is. So this is a Venus bump. Plus we get a Venusian animal. Then we get our, we should have grabbed our 2 cards first, always, but, you know, it is what it is. Then I get a microbe on thermophiles. A second microbe on thermophiles. That's another Venus bump, which, you know, feels fine. Feels fine. Then Atmos Scoop, looking at you. There's nowhere for us to use those floaters, but that's okay. Like, look at that. We just get some of the right cards, and you've got a chance. We still have you. So I think there's a moment here where we play Aquifer, and we have to play another Aquifer. I'm going to be greedy and go for this card. And then let's get our money back as best we can. Nitrogen, I mean, this is huge, right? This is a point worth of extremophiles or decomposers. Doesn't really matter. They're both the same payout. 2 points worth of Venusian animals. A TR. We got money back on the event. We get to play our last greenery. I mean, that was massive. That leaves us with a Venus bump. I'm not seeing many of our cities on the board, which is a bit painful to see. Again, I have steel, so you're very likely. This is worth a point. This would have been awesome points, but we never made it. This is awesome because it's got a science tag, so it's basically doubled. What can we do? Well, this is 2 points. This is a point. This is a point, but I don't know. I don't think I have money back on events. Either way, let's do this for a 1 point animal, and then I think I just sadly $1 away. 26 extra heat, but $1 away from some glory. No cities to put our greeneries beside, unfortunately, and 2 plants away from getting an extra bump because we didn't really get to do all these plant scoops from the board. Ay. So we still got a pretty good run. We got 64 TR, so we did get the 63 TR goal. We did terraform the whole planet. We just didn't have the points. I don't know. We kind of stalled in the mid game. I felt pretty good going into Gen 4, and I think really that plant tag really hurt us. That plant tag was pretty painful. We spent several turns waiting on energy, which was pretty painful. We had a dearth of like steel income, though we eventually did get industrial microbes, which is great. But half of our steel income basically came at the end with the strip mine that we may or may not have needed. There are other cards that cost $25 that would have given us, you know, plants and a city or something like that, which would have, you know, combined with the placement bonus for like 3 plants, given us half as much as strip mine in terms of economy and oxygen, but twice as much as strip mine in terms of points. We didn't really get too much of a synergy with the floaters, but we did get the Venus microbes, which saved our run. We were a bit greedy on things like Dawn City, which I think paid off. We still didn't get to the 100 points. Had we done Terraforming Ganymede, that card has 2 points on it and would have given 4 TR. So even if I could have played that card for free, it would have just barely got us to 100 points at the end of the game. So I don't know. We probably, and this is hard to say, but would we have been better off playing Credicore? Cards over 20 give $4 back. And we did play a decent number of cards over 20. Several here at the end, a couple early on, right? But I think the answer to that question is no, right? There's like 6 cards over 20 that I'm seeing at a glance here. Maybe there was more, but 6 times 4 is 24. Sounds great, but I started the game with 2 income from Saturn Surfing, or Saturn Systems, just from the 2 Jovians, from the Prelude and Not. And that 2 income times 11 is $22, right? Plus I had the titanium income and some other things. So I think it worked out. We still had advertising, so there was some value on playing cards that cost 20 or more. We did get some discounts. Maybe more science would have been good, but I don't know. That run seemed totally fine. We just didn't get any city points, and we didn't really blow up. 24 points on cards, though. Feels pretty good. That's where the Jovians certainly were. The animals did probably the heaviest lifting, I imagine. 6 points on that animal card right there. Another couple points, I believe. 3 points on Extremophiles and 2 on Decomposers. So we did all right for Eccentric. Anyway, we didn't get our 3 card draw from Olympus Mons. That's where we went wrong. We should have gambled more on card draw. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Ciao for now.